Hello, world history students. It's Mr. Walker. I miss you guys and I wish I could see you. But, this is, and I'll be working with technology too, so we can send videos back and forth. But I thought I want to give you some support and also work on making videos to help you understand the project that you're doing right now, the paper that you're writing. And so yesterday you wrote an introduction to this paper. You wrote a historic context about the dates and locations of totalitarianism and 5 characteristics of totalitarianism. Do you remember that open tip CCC? We have one-party system, propaganda, economic control, extreme nationalism, terror, indoctrination, etc. And so and then you wrote a thesis in your first paragraph. Your second paragraph is comparing the ideologies or belief systems of communism and fascism. And so I'm going to show you page 3 where you're going to get your information, and then you can follow along. And I hope this will help you write a paragraph. So take a look at this. This is on page 3 of your packet, and you see that so you have the communism is the ideology of the USSR, and fascism is the ideology of the Nazis, okay? And so the belief system of fascism, they thought that history is a struggle between races. The communists believed that history was a class struggle. Now, both fascism and communism had a rigid and violent political ideology, a belief system, and people had to follow it. And if they didn't follow it, there would be violence against anyone who disagreed. And another word for someone who disagrees is a dissenter. And so if you didn't go along with this violent belief system and rigid belief system, meaning you can only believe in this one party, and if you don't, then you'll be disappeared or executed or put in a concentration camp. And so we're going to compare communism and fascism. So communism are from the ideas of Karl Marx and Vladimir Lenin. And Marxism was the workers, remember the hammer, versus the bourgeoisie or the wealthy. Lenin, however, believed that it was workers plus the farmers versus the wealthy. Therefore, can you see that? Yeah, there you go. Therefore, the enemies of the people in communism were the wealthy and anyone who dissented, anyone who disagreed with this. And think back to Sasha in Breaking Stalin's Nose and the society he lives in. That's communism. Okay, so the bad guys in communism, or the enemies of the people, were the wealthy and dissenters. Fascism, on the other hand, this is based on racism. And the racist ideas that the fascists believed in were, again, this is pseudoscience. This is false science that justified their intense racism. One we've already studied was social Darwinism. This is part of their belief system where survival of the fittest is applied to race and class. And they also believed in this idea called eugenics, which was controlled breeding to increase the strength of the population. And because of these beliefs, it created enemies of the state, especially in Nazi Germany, where they believed the Aryan Germans were the pure ones. So let's see. It made the enemies of the state, in this case, anyone who was different. So disabled people, or minority religions like Jews were targets of the Nazis. Also, anyone who was, Jehovah's Witnesses, they would not take oaths. Jehovah's Witness. And then also minority groups like the Roma, who are known as gypsies also. People don't use the word gypsy anymore, they use the word Roma. And then homosexuals were targeted as well. And so these are among the so-called enemies of the state in Nazism or fascism as well, plus anyone who dissented. Anyone who would not go along was judged an enemy of the state. And so while the belief system is different in communism and fascism, where one is about class and the other one is about race. They both targeted dissenters. All right, I hope this helps and shows you how to use this page also. Tomorrow I'll do a video about the difference between economic control. All right, I miss you guys, and keep up the great work. Okay, bye-bye.